Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katri and I'm here with another book review. Alright guys, so today on the channel I am going to be reviewing Now With You. This is the second book in the Secrets of River Hollow series by Dulcie Dameron. She is a Christian contemporary romance author. So I'm really excited about this one. This is a novella, so it's not a full novel like the first one was. But we're just gonna get on into it. I'm gonna go over my pros and my cons. So I have 3 pros for this one, and that is that there's no sexual content in this. There's no cussing in this. Of course, it's Christian contemporary, so it is clean on those fronts. And the third pro is that this is really easy to read writing, and it's the perfect amount, you know, like just enough sizzle, but there's no actual like spice, there's no stuff on feed. She does a really good job with like still having the sizzle while being clean and having faith in her books. So I really enjoyed that. All right, and then I have 2 cons for this one. My first con is that this is a novella, so it's under 200 pages. I kind of wished this one was a little bit more fleshed out. I still enjoyed it, and it was a quick and easy read, but there are like some time lapse, and so I just felt like the chemistry and this relationship between the 2 characters wasn't fleshed out as much as it could have been. But again, that is because it's a novella, it's shorter, it's just a quick little story. So that is one of the cons, one of the things I didn't love about it as much. My other con is that this is an age gap romance. Now, this is more of a personal thing for me. It just wasn't my thing personally. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was a little bit strange for me to get used to with that trope. So again, that might not be a con for you, but not very big or awful cons here to begin with. So let's get into this book. I am going to read the back of this for you guys to give you the summary because I'm so bad at summaries. But we'll see. I might not read all of it, but it says, love gives her a second chance. If only it didn't hurt so much to move on. Facing the prospect of an empty nest, feisty widow Priscilla Clark determines to stay busy by turning her beloved old Victorian into a one-of-a-kind bed and breakfast. But when circumstances beyond her control bring a halt to her new business and she is forced to accept help from an unlikely source. As Priscilla's tough exterior starts to crack in the face of her daunting predicament, her quirky friend's attractive young brother, Rex, inserts himself into her life, wreaking havoc on her heart in the process. No matter what, she's determined to ignore the spark that ignited between them. There's one other thing, but I am going to leave that one out because I feel like it tells a little bit of stuff that's like happens halfway through. But anyway, so if you have read The River Hollows or the first one or heard me talk about that one was not sent to you. Basically, this is the main girl in that one. This is her mother, Priscilla. And so this is her romance because she lost her husband when all of her kids were still teenagers in the house. So she's been without him and a widow for quite a while now. So yeah, that's kind of what this is about. Now I'm going to dive into a little bit more detailed, so possible spoilers up ahead. I will say for this one, again, it's a novella. Part of the reason why I also didn't prefer this to be a novella is because the first one, I really loved how much faith was integrated in it. Now, there wasn't like a ton, it wasn't like everywhere, but there was a huge arc of forgiveness in that one, and I really enjoyed it. In this one, because it was a novella, I felt like there was a lot less faith content in it, and I didn't prefer that. I did like the faith content that was in it though. I really enjoyed that. Rex had kind of been in a long-term relationship with someone, and then he came and found Jesus. And so he wanted to get out of that sinful whatever. And so he asked her to marry him because they had been living together for like 8 years, sleeping together, and he knew that was wrong now. And so she basically says, no, I don't like this new you, and dumps him. And he's also an author, so I do like to see like authors. I think that's pretty cool. I think it might be because my husband likes to write that I like that little mini trope. Is that what it's called? Mini trope, when the guy's an author. But that was cool to see. It was really nice to see how much he had like changed from his former self. Again, it's novella, so it didn't go into crazy detail, but I did like the little bit that it did show on that. So yeah, I just felt like these two characters and their faith and their stories could have been fleshed out so much more, and it could have been so much richer than it was, but it wasn't bad. Also, I completely forgot to tell you guys what I rated this. I rated this a solid 4 stars. I liked this. I did like it and I enjoyed it. But the first one was a 4.5 or 4.75. Like, it got so close to a 5-star, but it just didn't quite hit, you know? Like when you just love a book and you're like, oh, but then there's just something about it that it doesn't quite hit. That was what that one was for me. This one was a little less great, but it was still really good. I also will say that the characters in this, I mean, this town and these characters in this town, they're so fun and easy to read and easy to like and get along with and connect with. I really love the way that Dulcie Dameron writes her characters. I really enjoy it. Goodness, parched, guys. Sorry about that. I just enjoy the way she writes, and it's very easy. It's not, I wouldn't say it's exactly like Sarah Adams, but it kind of reminds me of her in the sense that she's very easy to read. I almost always love her characters and the way she writes them, and I get through her books very quickly, and they're kind of comforts. I'm very much the same way with Sarah Adams, but I wouldn't say that they're like exactly the same in their writing style because of that. There's just something about their writing style that makes me kind of feel the same way with things. So yeah, that's what I'd say about it. But I'd also like to say that this is like a interconnected standalone series, but this one, while being the second one and a novella, I would say that you really should read the first one before reading this. Because the first one is her daughter, and so it's her daughter's romance, and there are some things with her daughter in this one that, you know, you should know about her daughters and how that ended up, so that you can like actually enjoy and not be totally spoiled by things with this one, because there was kind of a big thing towards the end of this one with her. So yeah, I would just definitely recommend reading the first one first. I don't think this is one that's really now I haven't read the rest of them, so who knows, maybe some of the other ones could be, but so far this one was not one that as easily you could just step into this one and be like, I feel like it did bolster a lot from already having known some of the characters and some of the setups. So for me, the biggest thing was just getting used to this age gap in this. I've never done an age gap romance. This was the first one I'd read. I think the age gap in this is about 12 years with like, I think she's 53 and he's 41. So I don't have like super crazy anything, whatever, against age gaps and like, you know, in my daily life or anything. I'm like, if you're of legal age and it's not like there's nothing that makes it weird or whatnot, then I don't really care. Like, you know, who cares how old you are? But this was just a little weird because I think part of it might have been because Priscilla kept referring to herself as such an old lady and such a, you know, and in the first one, from her daughter's perspective, she was kind of painted as a little bit different, and while she still is like the same character, seeing from her perspective, she has such more of a youthful exuberance. And so it was interesting because sometimes I would forget that she was this age, and then she would like constantly remind me. And so I was just kind of having a hard time being like, but it wasn't like bad, you know, it wasn't bad enough to bring my rating down that much. And if you like age gap, then I doubt you'll have any, you know, any problem. But if you're not as big of a fan on age gap, or if you hate it or whatnot, I just want you to be wary, you know. We don't want anybody reading stuff that they know they're not gonna like. They would have just known something about it. So I know that's always disappointing when people don't mention stuff like that. So I like to. while I did not like the age gap thing as much, I did love how they talked about Priscilla and her not her ex-husband, her former husband. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm missing a word that I very clearly should be saying, but her husband who passed away. It has been, like I said earlier, it's been a while since he passed, so this isn't like she's just jumping into it. But I liked how they presented that and how they talked about it, and I really enjoyed just how Dulcie Dameron wrote that. I thought it was very sweet and a very like kind and a nice way to write about that, and to just a nice way to like put it and to wrap it up and stuff. So, guys, so those are most of my thoughts for this one. Again, this is a Christian contemporary romance, so it is completely clean. I've loved what I've read by Dulcie Dameron so far. The first book is Not Since You, and it is the Secrets of River Hollow series. I believe there's 2 more in this series. I'm excited to check out the rest, and Dulcie Dameron also has quite a few other books that I'm also excited to check out. But if you're looking for another Christian contemporary author, she has so far been a really good one. I absolutely love these little cartoon covers of hers. Love it so much. Yes, loved this book. It was a 4-star. I hope you will read it. If you do read it, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you've already read some of Dulcie Dameron, what out of the Secrets of River Hollow series, what would you recommend for me to read by her? Or if you have any other Christian contemporary romance authors with super cute covers, please feel free to recommend them down below in the comments. I would love to hear them, love to check them out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, guys.